Get over to the association. We got a couple games going on Wednesday night here. What do you like? First game, we got the Miami Heat catching 14.5 in Boston. Of course, everyone just assumes Celtics are going to roll, completely destroy the Heat. Any zigzag, any bounce back here for the Heat in this matchup, Lonte?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean with the Heat. I think 14.5 is the number that I last saw. I think that's the updated number. But anything over 2 touchdowns, I'm gonna take it with the Miami Heat. I just think that fourth quarter, late third quarter into the fourth quarter, where they kind of made a little run. I know that some of the starters were kind of out, and they kind of thought they had the game in hand, and Miami made a run, made it a little bit closer than they wanted. But I think those guys are gonna come out and adjust. Obviously, it's such a mismatch with Spo. He just doesn't have the soldiers that the Celtics have. But I do think that he'll come out with something drawn up. Not DeLon Wright. He is DeLon Wright. Look for him to get in and put some point guard. I think the biggest issue is they don't have a ball handler, so they're relying on Tyler Hero to kind of create all the offense. He can't score. So I think DeLon Wright will play a little bit bigger role and be able to get those guys in position. I mean, over 2 touchdowns, playoff game. We got Spoelstra coming in. I like the 14.5.
I'm with you. Again, maybe I'm crazy for liking the Heat, although you could probably talk me into the Celtics first half. That has been a machine all season. But the Celtics are interesting. Like, they dominate these teams that they're supposedly much better than, but then they kind of let them sneak back into the game. I mean, you remember the Atlanta Hawks, they lost a couple games to. Like, I don't know. I think this Celtics team really takes the foot off the gas. So in some ways, for the cover 14.5, I think it's almost better if the Celtics get out to a big lead, because if it's like kind of close, they might close strong. But I think if they get out to a big lead, they might take the foot off the gas. And I like the Heat. I like Spoelstra to make some adjustments. And I really like Jaime Jaquez, local kid out here. He went to Camarillo High School, and then he went to UCLA, was a part of those UCLA teams that made some runs. And he's looked pretty good, helping fill in for Jimmy Butler. His player props are pretty interesting as well. So I think Jaquez keeps him around. So I'll take 14.5, Ryan.
Yeah, you see Jaquez at the gym or at the court, you're going to be in for a long day.
Oh yeah.
Got that hair whipping you in the face constantly. You know he's sweating.
Maybe that's what it is too. It's like guys, running backs who have the hair coming out of the helmet. Yep. They just look more athletic because the hair's flying around. Right. I don't know. Maybe that's why Lonte has his hair long. He puts it in a helmet and looks.
No, I'm telling you, we used to call it the dread effect, but it works for any hair. Because basically,
I've never had that.
It demonstrates physics, so you get to see how amazing these guys are because their hair is constantly horizontal, flowing behind them beautifully.
And again, shout out to Carson Steele, but Ryan, maybe that's why we're higher on market than Carson Steele, because he's got those golden locks coming out of the UCLA helmet.
Yet to see a prop on him. So both of you like the points? Same as last game. So the only argument is that Spoelstra is going to have enough adjustments to make this one a little closer.
Yeah,
which
but Zula's catching
sense.
up on rewatching The Town for 100 times. That guy's a real weirdo.
Missoula is still a psycho, right?
Yeah. Okay. 100%.
I went back and looked at my notes from last year, and there were a lot of days where I just have a note that we're going to fade Missoula. And then I went back and watched some video of him. I feel like the mainstream media doesn't cover how psycho he is enough. He's got the same eye problem as some of the greats out there, including Dan Jones. I guess I'll take the points with you guys.
I'm doing my Dan Jones right now. What are you asking about?
Oh, I mean, he's processing very deep thought. I mean, he does have a degree from Duke. Please.
What about the and so you liked Wright as well, maybe in the player prop market, Lonte?
Yeah, I think he'll get more minutes because, like I said, the biggest issue that they have is they're having their best players, Bam and Hero, kind of initiate the offense, which is taken away from what they can do offensively. If they're initiating, it's harder for them to score. And then you already have Bam kind of dealing with Tatum and Brown defensively, and Porzingis for the back. So I think that's taken away. So I look for DeLon Wright to get more minutes. If you want some real DJing action, find a book that offers first quarter player Jaylen Brown over. It's usually like around 6.5, 7. He's top 10 in points per game in the first quarter. He's right around like 7.3 or something like that. and he didn't play well. And he didn't do well in game one. I think he was kind of stagnant. I don't know if it was just Tatum's turn, or they were doing some kind of thing where Tatum wanted to take over for game one. But I think he comes out assertive, and I think he has closer to double digits in that first quarter.
So DeLon Wright, higher 5.5 points over an Underdog Fantasy. Already got that one locked in, Ryan. And all we need is sorry. And you said Jaylen Brown or Tatum for the first quarter points.
Jaylen Brown, yeah, I like him for the full game as well. But I love the the first quarter simply because if it is,
so we like higher 5 first quarter points for Jaylen Brown.
Oh, it's only 5. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm while we're talking this out, I'm firing over on Underdog Fantasy. Jaylen Brown higher 5 first quarter points. DeLon Wright higher 5.5 points total in the game.
Impressive. They offer you those first quarter lines.
Oh yeah, they got plenty of DGen options over on the old Underdog Fantasy. All right, kicking it over to the second game. What do we like here, Lonte? Right now, I'm seeing Pelicans catching 7.5 against Oklahoma City. My instincts are that Oklahoma City kind of survived the Pelicans' best shot, and now this is where the younger team, quick turnaround, they kind of roll. Pelicans maybe had some momentum from that playing game, but now it sets in. Hey, shit, we don't have Zion. We could be in trouble. I kind of think Thunder roll here, but I could be talked out of it. What do you like here?
No, I can't talk you out of it. You stole my whole handicap, basically. I think that's essentially what I was thinking. My thing is, I thought that Oklahoma City didn't play well, but you saw if you watched like in the third quarter, that was their best quarter. They outscored them by 6 points, but in between there was a time where they were up by like 9, and they kind of got stagnant with the ball. So I think Dagnall got he got kind of too cute with the rotations he was playing. He usually plays like 10, 11 guys, but I don't know if you can do that in the playoffs. You kind of want to trim that down to like 8 or 9, especially in your first, few playoff games with these guys. And I thought he just made a few mistakes, just coaching wise. Shea turned the ball over way too much. So I think they'll bounce back. They'll adjust. They'll get Giddey off the court because they're kind of loading up the paint because they don't have to guard him, which is taken away from what SGA does, which is getting to the basket. So I think Dagnall will make those adjustments. Pelicans coming down from a high. I think Oklahoma City rolls.
So if you had asked me as I was watching Chet Holmgren's college career end at Gonzaga, if this was at all in the realm of possibility, I would have told you you're full of shit. And then he misses an entire
I'm with
season.
I'm with you.
This is one of the most phenomenal. It's not so much how he's playing. It's like how
he's
athletic
got a dog
and
in him.
yeah, like he just seemed like he was going to be a soft, fragile, big guy.
Well, and again, the fact that he missed an entire season with like a weird foot injury,
that probably helped him, honestly.
Yeah,
it did.
Lift.
It did.
And those guys are still growing too, which is insane. I mean, him and Wemby, honestly, I was kind of skeptical just because they're these tall freaks, and it's like so hard for them to stay healthy.
I just lost bets on fading Wemby's points, rebounds, and blocks per game average. He went over all.
Oh man,
I know, dude. He was a machine. I mean, he was right there in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, I don't think he's gonna get it, but the fact that he was like second or third guy, I mean, hats off to him. I was skeptical, and knock on wood, they both stay healthy because. Yeah, watching those two guys play, you think a fire might break out. You got two sticks rubbing up against each other, but it's fun basketball.
When the aliens come, we'll be safe, Sean. We'll be safe.
They're not going to.
If Wemby does, if Wemby does win that Defensive Player of the Year, we might take the whole company out to Circa to Stadium Swim. I'm loaded. I'm loaded up on like 100, like 75, 60. Like anything over 10, like hitting it every chance I could get, because you got to think like he was kind of injured at one point in time. They were kind of fluctuating with his minutes, so you didn't know if he was gonna meet the threshold like games wise. But I mean, you could just tell from the effect that he had whenever he was playing that like guys were turning down layups, 1-on-5. Like it was just too much. So if he wins, it's gonna be a good day.
I mean, that's hey, I love it. Everyone needs their Kyle Juszczyk moment. Shout out to Kyle Juszczyk, who signed this helmet right here.
Yep. All right,
you.
Lonte, appreciate you calling in. Make sure you check out Lonte over on XX Lonte XX, and check him out over on the NBA Gambling Podcast.